Hey Tugboats, it's Shiipty and welcome back to the channel for another episode of the Soul Food Legacy. Today we are going to be hosting Simone's very first cookout and dinner party. I'm super excited because I have decorated the entire backyard specifically for this. I decorated it based on my personal experiences at cookouts, whether that be for my family, for family friends, or maybe events that I was photographing. And so I really just wanted to put that touch of just different cookouts that I've been to. If you guys see something that's familiar to you and it gives you some form of comfort, definitely let me know down below if I hit home with that. But before we get started with the video, I do just want to say thank you guys so much for all the love and support on the first episode. You guys really showed out for me, and I am so excited to see that some of you all maybe have just recently discovered this challenge, or you've already been playing this challenge. It really makes me happy just to see other people enjoying this. It's amazing, and I'm so grateful to Junie for creating this challenge because it is just such a beautiful experience. So thank you again, Junie, for creating. If you guys want to go check out SimSaga, I will have all of the links down below to her channel so that way you guys can support her as well. I also want to say thank you guys so much for 16K. For those of you who have been around for a while, and for those of you who are just recently joining me, I'm so happy to have you guys a part of the Tugboat family over here, and I just really am super excited to get to know each and every one of you. So thank you guys so much for all the love and support. And last but not least, I want to share a comment of the day. So the highlighted comment of the day is from Selena Sims, and Selena says, "Kenny bringing over her man regardless was so fitting, LMAO. She's playing with fire. Looking forward to how the rest of the series goes." And I can't agree more. I feel like Kenny is really playing with fire, especially considering her mom is a bit of a hothead. I just find it very funny that she was that brave to invite over her boyfriend, but also super realistic because how many of us as teens have not done something that we were supposed to? If you would like a chance to be featured as comment of the day, all you have to do is comment down below and I will select a comment to be featured in each episode. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and hop into today's video. So Simone and her daughter just got back from church not too long ago, and they actually had a guest with them this morning. It was none other than Isaac, and I personally feel like he wanted to come because of the last episode. You guys know that he snuck over to Miss Taylor's house, and it was just not a good vibe. And so he came to church this morning, and he decided just to be there as a way to not only kiss up to her, but to show her that he's sorry for what he did. So yeah, he came to church with them this morning. He even was like saying, oh, how the pastor was preaching real good. And, he was really just trying to butter her up. But yeah, we just got back from church service and Simone was on the phone with her family friend, Franklin. Franklin is actually our mom's friend, but he's always been seen as, like the uncle or the cousin. And so he's going to be helping us this afternoon with everything. So what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and start our gathering because Franklin and Simone are going to be the people who are cooking for this get together. So I can't wait to show you guys the backyard. I'm going to go ahead and get Simone inside. And I do think that Kennedy and Isaac are probably going to change, not him change it into his football, his football uniform. But I do believe that Kenny and Isaac are going to get dressed here shortly because the party is starting at 5, guys. I have little to no time to get this whole menu prepped, but I'm going to show you guys the backyard for those of you who missed seeing it on my socials. So this is what the backyard looks like. Simone, Kenny, and Isaac set this up this morning, and so I'm super excited to see all the guests in here just living it up, having a good time. We have a little bar station back here. We're going to be hiring a bartender. As you guys can see, this is what we have to serve. It's not open bar. We just have, a few select bottles here. And then we have the card table, the infamous card table. We also have a kiddie pool, some water balloons for the little ones. There's like 3 sets of tables going on here. Actually 4 if you count the small one. We also have the ice bin out here with the drinks. We've got some extra drinks here underneath the table. We've also got some extra adult beverages over here. These are not functional. These are all decor, as well as these trays out here. I just really wanted the table to look full, and so I put the trays out. We also have some to-go containers for those who maybe didn't, come to the party and their family's back at home. So we have those as well if they just want to pack up some food and take it with them. We've got the drink station, some paper towels, the sign that says who we're honoring today, as well as some extra drinks here on the table. So we do have to go ahead and add the photo here. I forgot to do this, so we're going to go ahead and assign the sim to the memorial portrait, and that is going to be Miss Sheila Taylor herself. And we are really going to do it up for her today. We got the speakers out. It's going to be a whole good time. At least I'm hoping so. Parties in The Sims usually stress me out, so I'm not really looking forward to this, but I am just because of how serious I decorated. So we've got the cake box, we got everything just in case I don't have time for Simone to make a cake. We've got the cake box. All the areas are covered. So Simone is just about to start cooking, and then she hears the door open and she hears someone say, "Hey, baby." And it is none other than Mr. Franklin himself. Now, Mr. Franklin is inspired by my cousin Franklin. I'm so excited to have him in here and just see his face. But he is going to be holding down the grill for us because, you know, we can't do it all by ourselves. We do need to call in some resources. And he's like, "So what do you want on the menu today?" She's like, "Whatever you want to make, Franklin. You know, I just appreciate you coming out here. And, you know, it means a lot to celebrate mom and honor her in this way." And he goes, "Man, me and your mama, we've been friends since the cradle." That's what my grandma used to say. And she's like, "Oh, I know." And he goes, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else this Sunday afternoon." And she's like, "Okay, well, I can't wait to see what you put down." We're going to go to Granny's recipes and we can go to barbecue and we can see that we can make all these additional new things like barbecue ribs and baked beans. We can make pig sausage buns, even s'mores dip, barbecue smoked brisket. There's barbecue chicken, shrimp and mackerel skewers. So there's a lot of stuff that we can make. But Franklin is known for his barbecue ribs and baked beans. And so we are going to start this first. Franklin's going to go ahead and head on out and get started on that food. And Simone is going to start on some mac and cheese. Now I know that I have this deco mac and cheese out here. So what I'm going to do is kind of just place it right underneath it so the Sims can still grab it. But it looks like they're pulling from this. And I love how he just turned on the music. Stop. That is so fitting. I love this save. I love it. But he is just back here making the food. Simone is making some food. But let's get Kenny to help out her mom. So she's going to come out here and mix some iced tea for her. This is Kenny's specialty. She was taught how to make iced tea by her grandma, and she just knows that it's the best iced tea these people are going to have today. So we are mixing that up. Now, I do want to go over the guest list a little bit with you guys because they're going to start showing up. So, of course, you know, we have Isaac who's going to be attending. Ashlyn, she is not our family member, but she's like a family member. She's coming out. Franklin's here, of course. Old Harold. Oh my gosh, I love Harold. He's like a cousin too. When you guys see the cousin thing here, they're not all necessarily like blood related, but they're like family. So we have Harold here. Harold was good friends with our granddad. Isn't he so cute? He's so precious. I imagine they went fishing together at the pond or the creek or stream, whatever. And they hung out. They just talked about life and things like that. Maybe their past in the military. We also are going to have Jalissa here. Jalissa is actually our uncle's ex-girlfriend. He was going to marry this woman. They were going to be happy together, have children, all that. At least that's what Ezra thought. But Jalissa was not ready for kids. She was not ready to settle down. She still isn't. But they are trying to work through some type of a relationship together. So she's currently staying with Ezra, but I don't know how long that's going to last because their relationship is very complicated. We're also going to be having our cousin Red Tucker to the party. Red is currently attending Brightchester and has really been looking forward to coming over here and talking to Kennedy about coming to Brightchester. Now, Red is actually our blood related cousin, but Red also calls Simone auntie and things like that. But no, they are just cousins. But Simone is practically an auntie to Red. If you guys saw the cast video, then you all know that Kevin Stone is actually Kennedy's dad. He is going to be coming to the party. This is our dad's fiance, Ashley in the flesh. Oh my gosh. I talked about Ashley in the video. As y'all can see here, she has some traits that probably will not be the talk of the party, or at least they might be in an interesting kind of way. She's socially awkward, paranoid, and a perfectionist. And she is going to be our stepmom. I love how this pops up right here. That's so beautiful. Dominic is also going to be attending the party. He should be arriving shortly, but unknown to Miss Kennedy is Dominic's daughter is her arch nemesis. She had no idea that Dominic's daughter was Brooklyn. And so it's going to be quite a surprise to see how the two of these handle each other together. When Kennedy was talking to her mom about who was going to be coming, her mom had mentioned that Dominic was coming, and Kenny was like, "Dominic, oh yeah, cool." And she's like, "Oh, he has a daughter too. You might get along with her." And she's like, "Oh, what's her name?" And her mom told her, and she goes, "Mom, you're joking, right?" And she said, "No, baby, what's wrong?" And she goes, "That's Brooklyn's dad." And she goes, "Brooklyn? Who's Brooklyn?" Kenny fills her in on everything, and she's like, "Well, please do not start any fights at this cookout. This is for your grandma. Please just be civil. Do not cut up." She's like, "I can't promise you that, but I'll try my best." So we shall see. Hopefully these two don't get catty by the end of the night, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. We also have Ezra, of course, who is our uncle, and he will also be attending the party. So our guests are finally starting to show up, and Kitty asked her mom if she wanted her to turn on some music because, it's kind of stale out here. And she said, yes, of course. And so we are going to play some music. And what is Kitty going to play? I think that we honestly are going to play some hip hop and we are going to blast this. Now, her mom asked her to put on the Soul Station because we have a little bit of some older people here, but Kitty's like, no, we are not listening to the Soul Station. We are just going to listen to whatever I want to listen to. And already I love how people are just sitting down, grabbing their plates. Oh my gosh, this is the other Sheila. Now, Sheila and our mom, Miss Sheila, they kind of joked about the fact that their names were the same, but they love singing in the choir together. And so it looks like she just came straight out of church, which I'm sure she did. And she is so happy to be here, but she is kind of side-eyeing some of these guests. Maybe they're not acting right. As y'all can see, she does not like the music, but she's just here to have a good time. And look at everybody else. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love how Isaac's just kind of sitting down where he can. He's just hanging out with whoever, and it looks like he's sitting next to Vivian. Listen, Vivian's gonna talk your head off. And then of course over here at this table, we have a few other faces. We've got Janie, we've got Brooklyn, we've got Dominic, we've got Ashley, our dad Kevin, we've got Grandma Hattie. There's a lot of people here. Everybody's still showing up. Oh my gosh, is that? There's so many people. Oh my gosh. Isaac, y'all just got out of church this morning. You cannot be over here kissing on her like that. But I guess he's like, well, you know what? Her mama's not here. I guess it's okay. But be careful because her dad and her uncle are in close proximity. But I just love how everybody's having a good time. And I love the fact that Franklin is just over here. He is going in, y'all. He said, I got to keep these plates flowing. Go ahead, Franklin. He is holding it down. I love that. We also have the bartender that showed up. So yes, it's a party. We don't have enough chairs for everybody. No, not the way Martha's sitting on the floor. Oh my goodness, poor Martha. And look at baby girl here. This is our neighbor's daughter, Kendall. Isn't she so cute? Baby is about to sit on the floor. I think I need to bring out some more chairs for people. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. But I'm so happy everyone's having a good time. Time really does fly by in this game, and it really just makes no sense how fast it goes by. But I'm so happy that everyone's having a good time, finding their footing and finding a place to sit. Now, unfortunately, time is flying by. It's already 10 p.m. And so I hate that. But Simone's going to come outside because she's been so busy cooking that she hasn't really had time to sit and chat with anybody. Oh my gosh, was she playing water balloons with Ashley? She's playing water balloons with Ashlyn, but it looks like she's searching for Dominic. I have no idea where Dominic is. There's so many bodies. Oh my gosh, over here by the card table. So let's come over here, and I think that she's gonna greet him. Let's greet him with a friendly hug because, like I said, she's just been so busy getting everything set up that she hasn't really had time to come over here and say hi to him. And so we're gonna come over here and say hello. She's like, hey, I'm so sorry, I'm just now getting to you. He's like, it's okay. He said, great party, yo. This is my daughter, by the way. And so we are going to say hi to Brooklyn. Let's have a friendly introduction. And she's going to say, hey, sweetie, it's so nice to meet you. She goes, hey, nice to meet you too, Miss Taylor. And she's putting on the biggest front because let me tell y'all, Brooklyn, she has a little bit of a nasty side. And, I'm hoping that she eventually grows out of it. But she has been giving Kenny a hard time at school. I think that there was some conflict between her and Kenny because she actually had a crush on Isaac, but Isaac liked Kenny. And so it's just really teenager drama, that kind of thing. But she's just saying, oh, it's nice to meet you. I hope that you have fun. Help yourself. If you need anything, just let me know. And I think that we're also going to say hi to Red because we haven't had time to speak to Red either. This is just the problem with being a party host, though. You just never have time to say hi to everybody. And so, yeah, we're going to come over here and say hi to Red because Red is our baby. And Red's going to say, what's up, auntie? How you been? Oh, I'm good, baby. How are you? How's school? Oh, it's great. I'm in the robotics program and everything. I can't wait for Kenny to come up. But Simone says, me either, I'm going to miss her while she's gone, but I'm so excited for her to come up and, be up there with you. You're going to take care of my baby, right? And, what if she wants to move in with you? Are you going to let that happen? Red's like, anything for my little cousin. I got her. Don't worry. But, it's so good to hear that somebody's going to be looking out for our baby. I'm sorry about the angling, guys. We just have a lot of umbrella situations going on, but it does warm Simone's heart to know that somebody's going to be looking out for her. Now, oh, look, she's crying. She's like, I don't want to say goodbye to her. Like, what am I going to do? It's just been me and Kenny for so long. And Red's like, it's going to be okay, auntie. Don't worry. Like, I assure you, we'll come back and we'll come see you and everything. And she's like, oh, you better. Where is he at? Where's Dominic? This party is too big for my liking. Well, you know what? I'm gonna just let her do whatever she want to do. She's over here socializing, which I feel like that's just something that she's trying to do to keep the party entertained. So we're just gonna kind of autopilot right now, guys. I apologize. This is just how it has to be for right now. Too many bodies. I invited too many people. Let's step over and check on Kenny because poor Kenny, she is so hungry. She's just realizing how stressful it is to have such a big blowout of a party. And so she's coming over here to help herself with something to eat. Oh my gosh, not this is so bad. So I'm sorry I'm pausing so much. This episode is probably just going to be super chaotic. I know the first one was very aesthetically pleasing, but with parties, it's chaos. So I apologize. Next episode will be better. But it seems as though our Uncle Ezra is over here talking to our dad's fiance, and he's like, oh, Ashley ain't half bad. Go ahead, Kevin. Oh my gosh, Ezra, get away from her. But I hate to repeat myself. It just makes me so happy that everyone's finding their footing and having a good time at this party. I do adore the fact that Simone is just over here catching up with Red. You know, it's been a while. And so I think that maybe she's trying to poke Red's brain and see how college is and if it's safe and everything. Because let me remind y'all, I don't think that Simone went to Brightchester. She went to Foxbury. And so she knows nothing about Brightchester. And so Simone is just poking Red's brain, asking how safe it is and if it's a good school and everything, and really just trying to figure out what life is going to be like for her daughter at this university, because she has decided that she wants to go to Brightchester. You know, Foxbury isn't in the question anymore. It is definitely Brightchester all the way. And so she really wants to know what it's going to be like for her. And so, yeah, Red doesn't mind answering all those questions. But, you know, I do feel like we should make time for Dominic. I know this isn't about him, but I do feel like Simone would probably try to find him in the crowd, specifically because she invited him here. And so let me actually have her come on over. And I do think we might do a little bit of flirting. Let's actually have a pickup line or something like that. But Simone is trying to make her way through the crowd to get to Dominic. And quite literally, she is struggling to get over here, which makes all the sense because there's so many people. But she's going to sit down and say, hey, Dominic, you know, sorry I ran off again, but I wanted to tell you, you look good tonight. He's like, oh, thanks. You know, you look good too. I can't stop looking at you. But Simone and Dominic wanted to come over and dance together a little bit. So here we have them. They are slow dancing together, I guess is what you'd call it. I'm not sure, but you know, they're just vibing with all the compliments and everything like that. She is feeling so flirty right now and just enjoying her time with him. And I love how cautious he's being. You know, he doesn't want to get too close. He doesn't want to, you know, misread anything. He wants to take this extra cautious because he is really happy to have Simone back in his life. And she's happy to have him back here as well. And so I love how he's just giving her space and taking it very, very slow. But oh my gosh, not the police. The police where? But I love how Sydney's being the voice of reason. It's Monday, it's 3 a.m. technically. So she's like, oh, I hope the cops don't show up. You know, we are kind of loud, but honestly, the whole block is here. So if anybody's calling the police, like, who would it be? Everyone's here. So everyone's heading home for the night, and Dominic and Simone are just sitting here having a little bit of a chat before he heads home. And I think that everybody had a good time because, guys, look at this amazing dinner party. Your Sims guests left them a fancy coffee maker and a pot rack in their household inventory. And it looks like we have a gold medal, which is what I was kind of seeking after. So I'm very excited about that. But Simone tells Dominic, thank you so much for coming. And he wants to ask her if he can officially take her out on a date later today, technically. So he's like, would you like to go out and, you know, grab a drink or something like that? And she's like, you think that I would say no? Of course I want to go with you. She's like, I've been waiting all night for you to ask. So yeah, I'll text you if that's okay. Just let me know where you want to go, and I would love to grab a drink with you, Dominic. The last night's party was a success, but Kennedy is waking up this morning feeling a little sad. It seems as though she is still struggling with the loss of her grandma, which I expect this. You know, I'm not upset with her or anything, but we still have the hard to get out of bed moodlet, and we also have the missing the moodlet still. And so she tries to fake the funk and post on social media because, as y'all know, Kenny is the cheerleading captain. And so I feel like she's very into her social presence and everything like that. So she's trying to post and stay active on there and everything. But something that always makes Kenny feel better is when she's able to cheer. And so we're going to come out here and we're going to perform a solo routine until our heart is content. You know, she's really upset right now, but she's hoping that swinging her pom-poms around is going to uplift her. And, you know, in a sense, that's what cheerleaders do. They cheer you up, cheer you on. She stretches really quickly and she's like, yeah, Kenny, you got this. You got this. It's going to be okay. Just keep smiling. And that's kind of what she's just been taught to do, just smile through everything. Don't really talk about the emotions. That's not anything her mom and her have ever done. If she does talk about her emotions, it really is onto her peers or to her boyfriend, but not to her mom. And you guys had mentioned that you are okay and you support 100% Kenny and her mom going to grief counseling. And I think that someone even mentioned that, Kenny should be more reliant on her friends versus her mother anyway, because that's more so how teenagers are. They're not super close with their parents sometimes, and maybe they lean on their friends more than they do their parental figure. And so I do agree with that wholeheartedly. And so we are going to have Kenny and Simone look into some grief counseling because I think that it's really going to help them. But Simone, oh my gosh, she is so exhausted. She's up here. We are going to get this house fixed up. We got some of our boxes moved over as well as our suitcases. So we finally have some of our clothes here and some of our belongings. But for the most part, we are still getting things, moved around and everything. So Kenny has her bed here and her things as well. And I'm hoping that we can have Ezra come over soon and, help out and things like that with getting everything to where it needs to be. But it is 9 a.m. and oh my gosh, she's already waking up angry again. She's like, I cannot believe I slept in. Oh gosh, I didn't mean to sleep in. But, we're over here like, Simone, it's okay. You threw the craziest block party last night and you definitely deserve to sleep in. But it throws off her entire day when she sleeps in. And so she's a little mad at herself. But Simone is going to come over here to her computer and she's actually going to surf the web because she wants to look into the grief counseling. It's Monday now, so she's thinking that, a lot of places should be open at this point in time. So she is going to do just that and she's going to register for some counseling. I'm really excited for her because I hope that this will somehow help her resolve her angry moodlet. I know that it's a part of the legacy challenge for the sim to be angry, but I almost feel like, she should be able to outgrow that at some point or just find some kind of resources to help her navigate that anger to where it kind of simmers down to not being an essential trait, but more so just like a natural human response. And so she is just hoping to get over this hump and this speed bump because, as y'all can see, she's a very social and happy person. She really does enjoy getting involved in the community, being a teacher, being that mother figure for her daughter. She just loves all that. And she hates that she's so angry. Look, she's like, I even got to order some groceries, but she's searching up, hoping to find something. And I do feel like she probably stumbles across, a number and she's like, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and call this place and see if I can sign us up for some grief counseling. But Simone pulls out her phone and she dials the number that she saw online and she's talking to somebody at the front desk, telling them that she really wants to seek some services for her and her daughter. And they tell her, yeah, just go ahead and come on by. We'd love to have you. All you have to do is drop in. The first 3 sessions are free. And then after that, you could decide if we are a good fit for you. And so Simone gets up out of her chair because, we have to go down here and we have to tell our daughter, I know that I'm canceling the interaction, but I would like to believe that, she can't rush off just yet. She's going to come down here and discuss it with Kenny and, say, hey, I was looking into it and I think that we both should go and talk to somebody. But she notices while she's walking up to Kenny that she looks a little sad and she goes, honey, are you okay? And she goes, no, I'm having a hard time with missing grandma and everything like that. And it immediately makes Simone sad because she hates to see her daughter like this. They have an okay relationship. And so I do think that, she's going to reach out to her and she's going to say, hey, I was just on the phone with somebody about, setting up counseling and stuff like that. Would you like to come with me? And Kenny goes, oh my gosh, mom, really? And she goes, yeah, baby, I think that it would be good for both of us to go talk to somebody. Just say how we're feeling and really work out all this. And I was looking up online and it says that we can do it together. You don't have to do this alone. And Kenny goes, you do that with me? Are you sure? You don't really like talking about your feelings too much, mom. And also, is it going to be expensive? Like, are you sure we can afford that right now? But Kenny's like, I'm just worried about, the finances and stuff like that. And I know that you try your best and dad helps out occasionally, but mom, I just want to make sure that we got it and we're able to do it. And Simone goes, baby, I will make anything work for this. I know that it's difficult for us to navigate these feelings and how we're getting through the loss of your grandma, but yeah, I can handle it. How about we go to that counseling session together and then we grab, some lunch afterwards. And Kenny, oh my gosh, guys, Kenny just cannot believe that her mom is ready to go and talk about this. And I feel like a weight is just lifted off of Kenny's chest. You know, she's been carrying all this heaviness lately. And now she's thinking to herself, I don't have to carry this anymore. I can actually talk to somebody about it. And hopefully it helps. Kenny and Simone just got back from their counseling session and everything went really great. But Simone had noticed that the mail person dropped off the mail right before they left. So she's just over here going through it, seeing what they got. And unfortunately, we do have some bills to pay, but it looks like she found a coupon. Wait a minute. Simone just scored a mailbox jackpot. Keep that coupon safe in your inventory and activate it to enjoy a 75% discount on any computer purchase. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could actually get coupons. But while we still have the money in our account, I am going to go ahead and pay the bills. They're 5,467 simoleons, and that is just going to rip a chunk out of our money. But you know, it's okay. This has to be done. And we're just gonna get them paid. But Simone's gonna come over and give her daughter a hug, and she goes, thank you so much for going with me, baby. And he goes, thank you for coming with me, Mom. You know, it was really good to talk to somebody. I feel so much better now, and I had a really great time, and I'm really looking forward to our next session. And my counselor said that we're actually gonna do some painting and everything, so I'm really excited about that. And Simone can't help herself. She hugs her daughter again because she's so happy that she took this step. Now, if we look at the moodlets here, I like to hone in on these because they're so cute, but it says that we are processing emotions. Simone has a lot to consider. Grief counseling may be a great way to process emotions. However, time will tell how much more of this she can take. We also have the feeling close sentiment, which says being around a sim that Simone has shared good moments with can bring those feelings back. That makes me so happy. She also has the family time as well as good vibes. They were going to grab lunch, but Simone completely forgot that she had agreed to go out to eat with Dominic. And so she's telling her daughter, hey, you know, I forgot I have to go out with Dominic. And Kenny says, well, I got cheer practice in an hour anyway. So it actually works out. So you go get cute, Mom, and make sure you dress for the weather and text me and let me know how it goes. I'm super excited to find out. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's him texting me. I guess I should hurry up and go get dressed. Simone just got to the park where she's supposed to be meeting Dominic, and it looks like Kennedy just sent a text message as well. She's off to cheerleading, but she looks around and she's like, where is he? And then she notices over here in the corner, he has a little picnic setup going on. And oh my gosh, she's going to be so surprised that this man actually brought like a whole picnic basket. She thought that he was just going to pack some sandwiches or something like that. But no, he brought out a blanket and everything. And so we're going to come over here and sit on down with Dominic. And I think that she's just going to greet him and just, you know, be thankful. She's like, wow, I didn't expect you to bring out a whole picnic basket. And he goes, of course, you know, I had to do it up for you. It's been a long time. I have to remind you why you liked me in the first place, right? He's like, I had to clean up real good and get the blanket and everything. She's like, you're so funny. Stop. But we're going to compliment his outfit, tell him he looks nice. And I do think that, you know, we're just going to have some slight conversation, ask him how his day is and everything. You know, how have you been so far? But he says, oh, I've been good. I was really looking forward to seeing you all day. And she's like, oh, you're really trying to butter me up, aren't you? He goes, maybe just a little bit. But Dominic was going through the basket and he realizes that he forgot to put the actual food in here. He did put some chocolates and some wine in there, however, but you know, we don't have anything real to eat. And so we are going to tell her a funny story and just say, you know, listen, don't clown on me too hard now, but I forgot to put the actual food in the basket. I do have some chocolates and things like that. So if that's okay with you, we can eat that. You know, it's some chocolates or something like that. Chocolate truffles, I think is what the box said. And she's just nodding. She's like, wow, he must have been really nervous. He's like, oh, I also got some nectar too, if you want to share some nectar. So I think that we should go ahead and place this down. Hopefully it'll land right on the blanket so that way we can share it together. But he had planned like a whole charcuterie board. He planned a whole board with some cheese and everything, but unfortunately we did leave that behind. Now he is walking all the way over here to put this nectar down, so we might have to get up and go grab a glass of that before anybody else does. So let me go ahead and have a glass here, and then I'll get Simone to grab a glass too. And then, oh wait, what? He's going back and forth with the bottle. Oh, he just threw it back. I mean, are you going to share with Simone? Like, can I have some of that? He's just drinking the whole bottle. This is not romantic whatsoever. I thought that he would actually share the bottle of wine. Y'all, he's just throwing it back. Well, I'm a little embarrassed that he just drank that by himself like that, but it's okay. We still have the chocolates. Can I at least feed her the chocolates? Yeah, we can. So let's share the chocolate truffles with Simone. We'll just pretend that she took a sip of the wine and he didn't just drink that all by himself. But he's like, "Do you want to eat some of those chocolates?" And she goes, "Yeah, of course." She's like, "I'm starving actually. I can't wait." And he goes, "Ooh, they smell so good. Wait, here, let me feed you." And she goes, "Oh my gosh. Wow, that's delicious. Can I have another one?" Oh, she wanted, oh no, not the way he just dropped it. He's like, "I'm sorry." She's like, "It's okay. Don't be so nervous. Here, look. See, I got you." And they're just gonna go back and forth. And oh my gosh, let's check out these chocolates. They look pretty good. I think there's like a caramel one. One looks like a coconut, and I don't know what that other one is, but regardless, they look delicious. And I'm sure she's enjoying herself. Now, Dominic also bought this game because, there's not much to do in the park except for like walk around, look at nature, and just enjoy the outside. And so he did want to bring this. Oh my God. No, he did. That was so cute. I guess that she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm having such a good time with you." And he's like, "Can I kiss you on the forehead?" And she says, "Yeah, of course." And so they share that beautiful kiss together. But I'm going to have them sit down and play the game. We're going to play Woohoo with Miss Simone here, of course. Woohoo with who? That's so cute. But yeah, we'll sit down and we'll play this game together, get to know each other a little bit more since things have changed. But he's like, "Hey, I got the adult version of this game. So it might be some suggestions in here." He's like, "But I was just trying to have a good time." She goes, "Yeah, of course. Trying to have a good time." He's like, "Okay, good. I'm glad you're okay with it." But they are figuring out so much about each other. We have figured out his turn offs and his turn ons. And I love how we can easily get to know each other through this game. I don't even have to do all the work. So let's see. Now he knows her turn ons. That's great. I'm still over here cackling at the fact that freaking Dominic threw back the entire bottle of nectar. That was supposed to be for the both of us, and yet he drank the entire thing. But I'm not going to blame him. I'm just going to blame the Sims for not allowing me to share 2 glasses of nectar together on the blanket. But I love how these two are getting to know each other. It seems as though they like what they hear too, because the romance is just going up like crazy. They're trying to, figure out what's changed. He's like, "Oh, I love spaghetti," and he goes, "I remember your mom's spaghetti actually." She goes, "Oh my gosh, well, great. I know how to make that spaghetti. So I think I got to win." And he's like, "Oh yeah, definitely." And she goes, "Well, my favorite thing to eat is definitely pancakes in the morning. There's just something about pancakes on a Sunday morning." And he goes, "Oh my gosh." He goes, "You're so perfect for me. Pancakes are my specialty." And she's like, "Okay, okay, I like this." And I think that they're really getting along very well. Let's actually just go ahead and open up the profile and see how things are going. And we can see here that Dominic's romantic feelings about Simone is that he's very attracted. He's fine, towards her satisfaction wise. And then we can also see that he's impressed. Simone sure knows what she's doing, and Dominic has nothing but respect. Oh my gosh, he's so perfect. And then on Simone's end of things, we are also going to look, and it seems as though she's very attracted as well. Oh my gosh. But she doesn't have any specific sentiments about him just yet. But I think that they'll come eventually. We just got to give it some time. But other than that, I think that we are really vibing together. Look, we're watching the sunset and having a good time. This is so romantic. But Simone and Dominic just finished their game and they are snuggling here amongst the sunset and enjoying each other. And Simone is just feeling so giddy. She feels like she's back in high school again. She never thought the day would come where she got to be in Dominic's arms again. Like, how crazy is this? And so she just feels like she's on cloud nine right now. But of course, Dominic does want to take things a little slow with her. He doesn't want to rush into anything with her, and he really just wants her to realize how serious he is about this relationship. And so the rest of the romantic journey, I am going to be continuing on my own time for the most part. So if you guys want to see any of that, definitely follow me on Tumblr. But things have been going so great between Simone and Dominic that she just leans over and gives him the biggest kiss of his life. And he goes, "Oh my gosh." He's like, "I did not just get butterflies, maybe just a little bit." She goes, "Yeah, I'm sure." But the two of them are so cute. Definitely gonna wrap up the night here though before it gets out of hand, because I'm sure that sent him all the way back. But guys, I am going to wrap up this part right here. I hope that you all enjoyed it, and hopefully you made it through all the party chaos with me to this point. If you did, definitely leave a rose down below for the date. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, definitely leave a like, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to become a tugboat if you aren't one already. I love you guys, and I will see you very soon. Bye everyone.
Could I be on? Play it too.